Champion's Ballad is phenomenal. It did everything the main game couldn't do. It made shrines hard and without having to consider the non-existent learning curve the game had, and they just feel like great trials, and along with awesome challenges that I won't spoil here, but they actually found a way to make the new mode challenging even for late game players. And if you want to see me bypass the first new area and challenge in a true very late game method, go watch my stream footage of it. It's fun and shows how much creative this mode actually is. Anyway, the DLC did expand on the champions characters by giving you their diaries, more dialogue and some cutscenes, and the Rook and the final one were my favorites. And the overall challenges and changes were surprisingly creative and cool, and the 4 boss thingies that happened before each character cutscene, no spoilers, were awesome and very well executed. This DLC is a perfect buy for anyone after they're burned out from the main game. But this wasn't what we thought was gonna happen. Yes, this delivered on everything it promised, a new story, a new dungeon, and new challenges, and it did those very well. But it felt very odd to compare with the expectations set, which weren't necessarily high, but rather different. The expectations from everyone, seriously everyone, were this. After the new ending, you and Zelda go through a relatively linear adventure, talking to the new champions and explaining some background on that fateful day 100 years ago. With some challenges in between, more enemies maybe, mostly plot, and hopefully new gameplay mechanics. In retrospect, that's probably asking a bit too much from roughly 6 months of work, but at least part of it was expected to be included. I don't think that's the result. The new story was indeed a new plot diversion with original stuff to make it feel like its own thing, but it wasn't what the true ending hinted at so heavily. Just listen to it. Divine Beast Varuta is malfunctioning. I think Mipha's father requires explanation. Even the 7-second footage I have yet to understand why they haven't made public. It shows Zelda approaching the flight range where the new Rito champion, Teba, not Falco, is. Falco was specifically told about how he used to practice in the place now titled Revali's Landing, yet now it said he goes to flight range, which doesn't add up at all. It sounds too perfect for what the Champion's Ballad promised, and it feels very weird we didn't get a necessary "you guys misunderstood" message from Nintendo. I don't know why they saved all the DLC details to the Game Awards. Yes, the trailer and launch was awesome, and I think it was smart that they made the trailer and launch on that day, but at least to talk a bit about how it'll even play out would have helped. I can say I'm disappointed, but I'm in wonder, with some minor hints towards future DLCs, probably just in case we run out of time to make a new engine for 7 years to keep Breath of the Wild alive, but with that I can't see what they can shove in. More cosmetics and yet another hardest mode with weapons that break after 2 hits and you only have 1 HP. Oh, they almost did that? Well, I don't think Breath of the Wild as it is can be expanded, mainly the open world before the ending. But this raises the worst problem. Nintendo will never be able to explain the true ending of Breath of the Wild. Even though they were clearly aiming for that, if they didn't find a way to add a post-game mode into the main game already and had to make the Champion's Ballad a pre-ending thing, and reminder, it was good, I liked it, but if they didn't figure out a way for that, they can't. And the reason they have no way to ever explain it is Zelda games don't get sequels. Ever. This isn't a design formula, this isn't a series or a mechanic, this isn't a tradition, this isn't industry standard, this is Nintendo being Nintendo. Throwing away the entire game and its engine to make something way too new and original, and there's no way they'll change it now, right? Breath of the Wild leaves too much room for difference. So many ideas can be done now with the open world, so as long as they're well done, but they don't do sequels. Don't give me any snarky handheld examples. Most handheld Zeldas, especially any examples you'll come up with, are exceptions. By now, it's established that Nintendo won't do sequels with same mechanics, at least for Zelda. And yeah, I'm sad that I won't get to see all this, especially no Zelda roaming, but maybe Nintendo will make the next Zelda a follow-up and make anyone who did a Firo video hang themselves. Maybe they'll let Link and Zelda, a living one this time, thank you very much, play together in a sense. I really, really hope something interesting can come out of a possible, not likely, but possible, Breath of the Wild direct sequel, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys feel about this DLC in the comments or whatever. This video was shorter than expected since I didn't review the DLC itself, but trust me, cool stuff is on the way, including a Best Games of 2017 video soon, but with my own original take on it. So, hey, hope you enjoyed. Bye!